Peters just in front of Kyle Busch. Mike Skinner, that X-side number 5. He took second away.
Man, he gets a great run off turn 2 over there, heading down the back.
Colin lost a little bit of momentum trying to get by the lap trucks of Brad Sweet and Nick Tucker.
Yep.
Skinner took advantage of it.
Skinner's truck is actually, compared to the way he looked qualifying, it looks pretty nice now, Adam.
It does, Darrell, and he drove right under Colin Brown, as you saw there a moment ago. Colin has drifted back, free in the center, or free rather in, tight in the center, the word for Colin Brown. So despite the fact he started on the pole, they have got some work to do as he drifts behind leader Kevin Harvick even further.
3 back 88.
Right behind him, that 88 of Matt Crafton. Because Terry Cook is not in this race, Matt Crafton now has the most consecutive starts in the Camping World Truck Series at 222 races.
That's a pretty good. 2001 is when Matt became a regular in the Truck Series, and he's run every race since.
And he liked his truck a lot after practice yesterday as well. He thought he had a good truck for the race tonight, and he's proving it right now, driving around the pole sitter on the outside of Colin Brown. Takes that spot away.
Adam Alexander, Chad McCovey's dropped back to the 12th position. What are they talking about?
And that's not good after he started second, only 24 laps in. Chad came on the radio, said simply too loose in the turns. And I talked to Bobby Dotter, the crew chief, earlier today. You see Chad running left of your screen with Brad Sweet on track. And Bobby said, we want to race good. We have worked so hard on qualifying trim. They had another great qualifying effort this evening, but we want to race good. And unfortunately for this race team, a little too loose in the early going. Their hope, with the more rubber that is laid down, the track will tighten up and this truck will come to him. Only time will tell as Kyle Busch goes to the outside of Hornaday for position.
But you know, the way things are with these rules where you got to qualify the thing the way you race it, you got to give up a little something. You got to give up a little bit of something when you're qualifying to have a good race set up. So sometimes qualifying on the pole is not a good thing.
Well, we liked the way his truck looked perfect for qualifying, didn't it? It never bobbled, and we said that might not be good for later in the night, and I think he's experiencing that right now. He's feeling that truck tighten up with him. He can't get where he's going because it was too good in qualifying.
All right, here. You talk a while.
We've got a guest in the booth, and Darrell Waltrip, this is not very often that he would hand off his headset.
Don't say anything bad about me.
Darrell said not to say anything bad about him. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Bobby Allison, 1983 Winston Cup champion, in the booth with us.
Well, great to be here, guys. And you know, I'm really pleased with the whole thing going on here. You know.
And you're the Grand Marshal, right, for Sunday's race?
Wave the green on Sunday and send those guys off. That's going to be neat.
You know, Bobby, we mentioned your name earlier in this broadcast because Ron Hornaday joined the likes of you and Richard Petty earlier this year, winning 5 races in a row. I mean, that is fascinating. How did you feel about that when you saw Ron make that accomplishment?
Yeah, I thought that was really neat. You know, it's been a tough time getting there, you know, no matter who it is. You know, it just ain't easy. And, you know, Darrell's had a lot of good wins and everything. A lot of guys have gone after it, but to get those 5 wins in a row is pretty special.
Back in the early 70s, you won 5 in a row that year. Richard Petty won 5 in a row that year. Racing back in the 70s, it just seemed like it was so much fun.
Well, it was. It really was. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of money there, so you had to enjoy what you were doing.
It for fun. Isn't that right?
You know, Bobby, and I bet you don't remember when Richard won his 5 that year. Do you know who won the next race to stop his streak?
I think it was me.
It was you. Yeah. And guess who won the race to stop your streak?
It probably was him.
It was him. It was him.
You had a very good banter back and forth between the two of you.
Yeah, we really we raced hard. You know, had lots of good races. And got to do it for a long time with a lot of people. And it still is just really so neat. You know, lots of things have changed, but the activity out there when the green flag goes down is still the same as it was.
Well, I remember vividly back in the early 80s, you and DW battling for championships, you winning yours in 83, and certainly the successes you had in your career were a lot of fun for everybody to watch. And darn, it's really good that you joined us up here. Good weekend for Bobby.
well, and I'm pleased. You know, the other thing I'm going to do in the morning, I'm going to fish with the Darrell Gwynn
My
hot rods, hot rods and reels. And Darrell Gwynn is one of my heroes too. You know, the guy is just really a neat guy. I knew him before he got hurt, and I followed his recovery after he got hurt. And him and his wife and his mom and dad and his daughter, you know, just I've just really enjoyed them, and I really enjoy what they're doing. And of course, it's fun to win those fishing contests too. I've done a few of those. That's a neat deal. Old Darrell won one here a year or two at the one at Daytona. That was pretty neat. But this one here tomorrow morning will be a fun event. And then the race activities tomorrow will be good. And then Sunday will be the big show. You know, the deal for the year. Yeah.
Looks like a caution's out.
We have a caution on the racetrack. The first one here on lap 32.
I think there's a lot of guys glad that caution flag came out. They look, there's a 93 truck right there.
Yeah, got a little damage on the right side.
Shane
Looks like
Sieg.
he got into the wall. So Shane Sieg bringing out our first caution of the race. The 73 of Lance Hooper also with some issues.
Looked like a lot of guys were really, really loose right then too. So it's I know a well-timed caution for a lot of people.
Bobby Allison, we want to thank you obviously for joining us up here. I'll tell you, Darrell Gwynn made a comment earlier today. He said the way most guys win that fishing tournament is they put lead weight inside the fish as soon as they catch them, so they get a little bigger. So I'm just, hey, before Darrell gets back on the headset, I'm just telling you that so you can beat him.
Bobby said a racer is a racer.
A racer is a racer. So we're under our first caution from Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Camping World Truck Series final event. It comes out on lap 33. Out in front of this field is Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, that moved all the way up to the second spot. Matt Crafton third, Timothy Peters fourth, and Ron Hornaday fifth.
While we were talking to Bobby, there was people coming and going in that top five. Matt Crafton was coming, and Skinner was going.
And
Bliss
speaking of coming, they are coming to pit road. Adam Alexander.
Johnny Sauter running inside the top 10, but he is not satisfied with his truck. You see the 13 Fun Sand Chevrolet, bottom of your screen. He said loose in, tied off. Joe Shear Jr., his crew chief, said, which is worse? He said, don't make me any tighter off. They're going to put 4 tires on this time. They will come get back and get gas and make an adjustment, Ray.
There'll be an air pressure adjustment for sure on that number 51 of Kyle Busch to try to help him roll through the center. On Kevin Harvick's truck, they're going to take air out of the right rear and put a little bit in the left rear. They're putting scuff tires on this Georgia Boots Chevrolet, and he's going to heap them stickers for later.
Kevin Harvick winning the race off pit road.
Bit of a problem there with the jack on the right side of Ron Hornaday's truck.
Look at all those trucks getting out ahead of Hornaday. Just remember, this championship battle for that owner's title certainly still in doubt. Kyle Busch up to second, and Ron Hornaday all the way back to eighth. Ron's got to finish ninth or better to lock that baby up. Hey, guess what Aaron's just did? Lucky dog, gave it away, 39. Ryan Sieg.
How about that? Shane Sieg, his brother, brought out the caution. Ryan gets a lucky dog.
Aaron's is giving him a chance to get back in this race.
Keeping in the family. That's the way I like it.
The field will make their way back onto pit road. Again, the rules in the Camping World Truck Series for the final time is no fuel and tires changed at the same time, so they'll come back in. If they did tires the first stop, they'll be adding fuel to the race trucks on this time around. And so we see the field making the hard left turn back onto pit road once again, Adam.
Johnny Sauter wanting to turn better off the corner. They got those 4 tires when they came down at lap 33. This time they will get fuel, and the call was also made wedge in the rear to make sure that that thing will handle better off the corner. Looked like Johnny got a little bump from behind as he entered pit road from Eric Almirola. Joe Shear Jr. said it will take at least 1 can. We may need to pop the second one. The adjustment is made. The fuel going in. Sauter will pull away. Ray?
They've got to clear the grill off on Kyle Busch's truck. They're actually going to remove some tape there. He was blowing out a good bit of water. The temperature had gone up to 240. There'll be a round in the track bar. Fuel going in for Harvick. And once again, the Ford truck will be the first one off pit road. 51 goes out second.
Coming off of pit road, Harvick will be able to restart up front once again. Kyle Busch will be up front as well. We'll see who wins that battle when we come back.